I know. Most of my videos are full of my opinions, but today we're going to throw in a few facts. The fact is, parenting or becoming a parent is a huge gamble. You're literally betting on this child's life. You don't know if you're going to die bringing the kid here. You don't know if you could die after the kid comes here. You don't know what type of child you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to need for this specific child. You could raise the kid, but you don't know how the kid's going to turn out as an adult. You just don't know anything. There's no manual. You just have to bet and hope that things turn out well. And that uncertainty scares the shit out of some people. And that's what you guys don't think about before you bring kids here.
Don't ever change for anybody. Don't ever trade your soul. Don't even listen to him. He don't know nothing at all. Try not to get too involved, but really it's breaking my heart how you keep changing for him. Never forget who you are. Butterfly.
Hey YouTube fam, how are y'all? For those that are coming back, welcome back. Thank you for returning. And for those that are new, welcome.
I was in Vegas last week and I had a friend text like, dude, you're in Vegas, are you gambling? It's like, gambling? I have a wife and kids. I've lost everything.
It just now hit me that, like, we don't know anything. We don't. Like, we know a few facts that'll get us around, but we don't know anything. Even our parents, they don't know crap. They don't. They're just guessing and betting. And that's just not enough for me. I feel like if I bring a kid here and I have to bet with everything and just hope that everything turns out well, eventually I'm going to fall back into depression, because not only do I have to bet and think for myself, but another person. Let's just say I do raise another Jeffrey Dahmer, or I raise another kid that ends up, getting sick, or they're born with disabilities to the point to where there's nothing I can do as a parent to help them. I just have to sit there and watch them suffer. Like, how do people deal with this? Like, how can people just think to themselves, that's what I want? Like, no. I should take these off. I always laugh when people say, oh, I didn't know my child would turn out like this. I did everything that I could have done as a mom, or I did everything I could as a dad. Okay, you did all of that, but that's still a person. Like, what you didn't really, it's not really going to affect the outcome of the kid. You can teach a kid to be awesome, but they can decide on their own when they become an adult. Screw all that, mom and dad. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to go around killing people and doing things I shouldn't be doing. You just don't know. And I asked one of my recent friends, why do you not want to have kids? Because, like, we're both child free and we've talked about it, but, like, I wanted just to, like, review everything with her before making this video. And she said, because there's no manual for it. I'm very organized and uniform. And I was like, okay, I feel that, because, like, she's so used to everything being laid out in front of her. And she's able to go back and look at the details of everything, but there is no manual for parenting. Not only that, but she told me up front, I would be a bad mom for that very reason. There is no order. It's nothing but chaos. Not just the baby in the baby stage, but I'd have to deal with the same thing, but even worse when they become a teenager, when they become an adult. And no matter what, even till the day I die, they're my responsibility. But there's no manual for that. It's not like a phone or a pair of glasses or a house that I can just, toss to the side or get a replacement for. That's my baby. There is no replacing that. There is no fixing the child. But, like, no matter what goes wrong, they're always going to say, who's your mom? Who's your dad? Where were you raised? Where do your parents work? Everything shoots back to the parents. All because the person didn't think, what am I gambling with? Now, you have some people that desire it and they jump into it anyways. And I respect these people because, like, they already desire it, so they don't really care. They don't care if they're, going to give birth to a boy or a girl, which I think is really funny when people do gender reveals because it's kind of hurtful to the kid. You're not really, like, appreciating the fact that you're bringing a kid here. You're more focused on what they have in between their legs. And that's kind of sick. Anywho, I felt her when she said that there's no manual, because there is no manual. Now, the basics of some part of the manual is to feed the baby, right? Make sure that the baby is clothed. Make sure that they have a roof over their head. Make sure that they have some form of education, whether it's homeschooling or they go to public school or online, just some type of education. Okay, those are the basics, but like the other stuff, you have to find out what the kid likes, what scares the kid, what the kid doesn't like, what irritates the kid. You have to find out things that makes them uncomfortable. Like all these basic things about the kid. You don't know what type of, any detail. You don't know the type of details you're going to get with that specific kid, because you don't know what type of kid you're going to get. I don't want to call anybody out, but I know a girl that has bad parents. I grew up with her. I don't want to call her out or give a name, but she'd come to school with like clothes that were like I don't want to say raggedy, but like I could tell she was homeless, but like no one knew. Like, and these parents were like sprung out on drugs, and eventually when we got to middle school, she was able to, go to DHR and get herself seen about. But like those parents decided to bring her here, and they gambled with it, knowing they were already struggling with drug addiction, and they brought her here. And like I couldn't help but like cry just seeing that, as a classmate, there was nothing that I could do. We're both kids, we're both helpless, there's nothing we can do. But like she's older now, and she's freaking awesome. I learned from her and her trauma. I learned about all the things, she said she had to overcome because of the bad decisions her parents made. Her parents sucked, but she turned out to be this beautiful woman. She turned out to be successful. She's over in Cali now. She's doing big things, and I love that for her. And she's child free. She's focusing on herself, but there's no telling where she could have gone. What if she just knocked off the path and ended up just like her parents? You don't know. Life is a gamble, so parenting is a gamble. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. It's not just with life. I wouldn't say that my life sucks. I love some parts of it, but the only issue that I have is healing myself. So like everything else is fine in the other aspects of my life, my personal life, my physical life, me working, me doing the things that I have to do, me giving back to the community, me being there and an advocate for the youth. The only issue I have is getting my mind together and healing myself, because most of it comes from the adults in my life making bad decisions. So I had to grow up with trauma that was swept under the rug. So I had to lift the rug up and take that trauma out. So right now, even with doing the things that I have to do, I still have to gamble with everything. And in the midst of that, there's chaos, and I just don't believe in bringing a kid here when even I don't know where I'm going to end up in the next 5 years. I could bring a kid here and it could get worse or it can get better. We don't know. And I don't like that. This is the main reason why I always tell you guys in some of my videos to go by your desire, because your heart won't always get you in trouble. When it's coming to something this big, like your dream career, or, the type of spouse you're looking for, or even becoming a parent, you have to think to yourself, do you desire that? Like, do you actually want that? Or are you just doing it because everyone else is doing it? Or are you doing it because someone told you to? And even if you did do it because of everyone else is doing it, or because someone told you to, I think that's kind of weird, because they're not you. And this is your life. So why are you doing things based off others' opinions and others' thoughts? I know that it's pressuring, but at some point you really do have to ignore them. So when you're gambling with things and you're thinking about becoming a parent, really truly think about it. And basically gambling is just looking at the pros and the cons of everything. So you're trying to think to yourself, which one do I want to go for? Are there more pros than cons, or are there more cons than pros? People don't think about this. So they just bring kids here and they don't think to themselves, wow, I really don't know what type of child I'm going to end up with, or I don't know what type of parent I might be. Some people from another perspective might be like, from a distance, you look like you'd be a great mom. And let's just say you take that to heart and you bring a kid here and you find out that you freaking suck. You suck at your job. But it's too late. The kid's here. There's nothing you can do you can't give the child up for, adoption. I mean, you can, but like, The child's kind of aware of the situation because they're older now. People don't think about this stuff. Like, these are like shower thoughts. Like, these are things I'm thinking about, like, in the back of my head, but I'm not like really paying attention to them. But life is a gamble, and so is parenting. And for some people, they don't like that. It scares them. And I totally understand. There's nothing wrong with being scared with uncertainty. I don't like uncertainty. I'm kind of like my friend with the manual. I'm so used to a manual being laid out in front of me. I'm so used to following instructions because I like order. I don't like when things get crazy. I don't like when people have these outbursts. I don't like when something bad happens and there's no solution to it. You know what I mean? I don't like that. And let's say I bring a kid here with that type of anxiety. That kid would suffer more than me. And I can't have that. Oh, but my love will fix the baby. My love will fix everything. Your love won't do that. Like, you don't know. And so far with the bingo of people like bringing kids here to take care of them when they're old, that's also a gamble, because you could do what you have to do as a parent, but the kid can still put you in a nursing home and never visit you ever again. You don't know. Your love is not enough to withhold this child's life. You could love this child, but this child could grow up to hate you. You could love this child and just think you're entitled to everything involving them, but they probably don't even want to look at your face or hear your name. You don't know. You could love this child from the bottom of your heart, but they could kill you one day. You don't know. No one knows. People don't think about this. So it's not really a factual thing about, I should bring a kid here because my husband told me to, or I need a legacy and blah, blah, blah. Is this what you really want? Is your decision selfish? Are you bringing a kid here because you want the child to live a life and you just want to assist them and be the person to deliver them on their way? Or are you bringing a kid here to be a little mini me? Are you here because you wanted to bring a child to be your life insurance when you get old? Why are you becoming a parent? Think about the gambles of it all, because it is gambling. And I'm not talking about rolling a dice, and then taking someone else's money. It's kind of the same, but you're literally gambling. You're betting, and you don't know the results. You just have to hope. And sometimes hope is not there. Sometimes hope is pointless. So can we just be more factual with what we want and what we don't want and the pros and the cons of everything? And can we just measure everything out and go by what we truly feel we need is necessary for our life? And can we stop judging others for wanting to gamble this or people that don't want to gamble with this? Everything's a gamble. You don't know what you're going to get in life, but make sure you're going to do anything that you're going to do because you desire it, because you want to do it. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.